Breaking news, guys. Trump threatened Iran. Every shot fired by Houthis will be considered to be fired by Iran. The US Navy will respond and Iran will face fire consequences.
Holding Iran responsible.
Does that mean direct military action on Iran is possible?
All options are always on the table with the president. Iran needs to hear him loud and clear.
There's no way the Houthis have the ability to do this kind of thing unless they had support from Iran. And so this was a message to Iran. Don't keep supporting them, because then you will also be responsible.
Breaking news coming out in the past couple of hours, as we have heard that things have erupted in the Middle East. We are hearing that the United States is preparing for potential conflict, even war with Iran. Warnings are being issued back and forth. And in the past couple of hours as well, we've heard that Israel has broken the ceasefire with Gaza. Attacks are taking place as we're hearing the hostages are not being released. A deal has fallen apart, and also there is conflict all throughout the Middle East. We're hearing Iraq, Syria, Iran, all over, Yemen, and the United States is saying the Houthi rebel attacks that have been taking place in the Red Sea. Well, now the United States is striking back and saying the Houthi rebels are funded by Iran, and they will be holding Iran directly accountable for this. And like I said, we're expecting things to escalate. Now, let me share with you the latest headlines that have been coming out in the past couple of hours so that way you can see them for yourself today, March 17th, 2025. Trump sights set on Iran after U.S. airstrikes decimate more than 30 Houthi targets. Trump warns Iran will be held responsible for Houthi attacks from Yemen. So the U.S. president has threatened Iran, while the Pentagon vows overwhelming lethal force against the Houthis in Yemen. Iran now threatens back the United States with devastating response. You can see this coming out today. Trump says Iran will suffer dire consequences for any more Houthi attacks. The Houthi responded by claiming a third attack in 48 hours. And ceasefires as well over as Israel strikes Gaza after Hamas refused to release hostages, officials have said. So
Trump is now saying that he will attack Iran if the Houthis don't back off. He says any further attack or retaliation by the Houthis will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that that force will stop there. Iran has played, quote, the innocent victim of rogue terrorists from which they've lost control, but they haven't lost control. They're dictating every move, giving them the weapons, supplying them with money and highly sophisticated military equipment, and even so-called intelligence. Every shot fired by the Houthis will be looked upon from this point forward as being a shot fired from the weapons and leadership of Iran, and Iran will be held responsible and suffer the consequences, and those consequences will be dire! Exclamation point, unquote.
Warning tonight from President Donald Trump, Iran could suffer major consequences over further attacks from Houthi rebels. The Trump administration targeted the Iran-backed group in airstrikes over the weekend, killing at least 53 people. American officials say additional attacks on U.S. forces or commercial ships will be met with heavier action and greater force. The commander-in-chief says Iran would be responsible too, since it is the Houthis' main backer. Houthi supporters say more strikes will only unite their country more.
The American and Israeli strikes that fell on our great Yemeni people will not weaken us or defeat us, but rather they increase our determination and steadfastness in confronting the enemies of God.
Our message to Iran is you better take this president seriously, and I think the Houthis learned that the hard way.
The sitting president of the United States of America is threatening war with Iran on social media. I need you to understand everything I just said. The sitting president of the United States is making war declarations on fucking social media against a country who is more than capable of going to war with us.
It is 6:47 a.m. on Tuesday, March 18th, and as of now, there are over 400 dead in the Gazan Strip. It's been the largest attack since the ceasefire in January 19th. They have no means of stopping. They're actually going to ramp up even more force, and this is all in response, according to Israel, of Palestinians holding on to 49 of the still 200 hostages from the original attack on October 7th. Multiple Gaza City residents have reported that it was an absolute night of hell.